Hi there, friends. Miss Shaquin here. Today I am going to show you how to make a really cute patterned hot chocolate mug. You might be doing this with a sub, you might be doing this for original works, whatever it is. If you want to peek at it, I don't have one prepared ahead of time, so go ahead, skip forward to the end of the video, take a look at it, see if that's the lesson you'd like to do, and if so, come back and get your drawing paper ready. So I'm going to share my dot cam. Okay. Now, especially if you're doing it for original works, I think it looks really nice to kind of have a frame around your art. So I have a ruler. You can use any straight object. Just make sure you hold it down well. It's a bummer when your ruler moves when you're trying to use it. So I'll line it up with the edge, press it down. Now, my frame, I could decorate at the end in just a single color and a single pattern, or you could make it match your mug. So if you did hot cocoa, you could do marshmallow around the side, whatever you want. Some people like these little corners, and you can kind of even do a different design in them. I think for mine, I'm going to erase them and just have a solid frame around the side. When I erase, I'm holding down my paper with my hand so that it doesn't rip. You'll notice I do have a little rip in my paper. I accidentally did that when I was cutting a big stack of them and didn't make it all the way through. But instead of giving you guys the ripped paper, I left it for examples. Okay, next thing, I need to make a table line. If I was doing a landscape, this would be called a horizon line, but I need the table. I'm going to do it about halfway, and you can use the ruler if you want. Make it pretty even. There. Okay. To make the mug, I am going to do two curved lines. One going in on the left, one going in on the right. And I want a flat bottom, so I'll do a horizontal line. It's a good thing I'm using a pencil so that I can erase that table line so it's not going right through it. Now I'm going to place mine on a little saucer, like a little plate. So I'm going to do almost like a flattened oval. So I'm going to start the oval over here, curve around. I'm peeking over here to see how wide it is. It's about that wide, just to make sure it's symmetrical or the same on both sides. Doing it nice and light so I can erase it easily if I need to. I notice that this curves out a little bit more, so I might make an adjustment. But the next step will be to add the handle of your mug. It can go on either side, but I'm just going to go from the top, do a curve to the bottom, same thing, top, just gonna make a parallel line, and then I erase any lines that it goes over. For this area, I'm going to do an oval, a very flattened oval for the top of it, so that I can kind of peek in and see my hot chocolate. Now maybe the chocolate's near the top, so I'm going to do a slightly wavy line. You could add some marshmallows. I'll do a circle or a flattened oval, two pair of lines down. I could have a wavy line. Maybe it's kind of soaking in there. So add what you want. You could have a candy cane sticking out of the edge. That would be kind of cute to do that. I might just do a curve, loop around, curve back down into the mug. I'm going to erase any lines it goes over. And candy canes, they kind of have diagonal striped lines. So I'm just going to go add that. And then I want it to make it look like it is hot. So I'm going to add some steam lines by just doing kind of wavy lines going up. I'm stopping at my frame. Maybe this one will be a little bit longer than the other, however you want them. Okay, next step is to outline it. Now, if you're doing this at home, you might not have a Sharpie. That's okay. You can use a different kind of material. You could use a black marker. You could, well, it doesn't even have to be black. Whatever color you want, but we want to emphasize these lines we've made, just so it really stands out. It kind of helps it look a little bit cleaner and neater so that you know for sure where all of your lines are. And if you don't get exactly on top of where your pencil lines are, that's okay, because we are going to go back and we are going to erase any lines that are kind of left over. Don't forget to do your frame, all that good stuff. Now, while you're doing this, you might think about what kind of patterns you like. Do you like polka dot, striped, zigzag? You could do lots of hearts over and over. You could do lots of stars. The next step in this process is we are going to do a pattern on all of our items, on our cup or our mug, on our saucer, on the background. You might want to think about cool colors, green, blue, purple. You might think you want to do warm colors, red, orange, yellow, warm like fire. So whatever you want. Now you can also think about complementary colors. Now remember, complementary colors are opposite on the color wheel. And when you put complementary colors together, they are going to have high contrast. The colors will pop instead of blending together. So the opposite of contrast, you might think of like camouflage. It kind of just blends in. So if I put blue and green right next to each other, they're going to kind of blend because they're next to each other on the color wheel. But if they're complementary or opposite, then they're going to contrast. So red and green are opposite, blue and orange are opposite, yellow and purple are opposite. They're complementary colors. I'm going to go through. I see I have a few pencil marks. Feel free to pause this as you need. I'm not going to outline these stripes. I think once I add the color, it'll be fine. Now you can use whatever material you have at home, of course. I know that a lot of friends have crayons at home, for example, so I'm going to use crayons. I was talking too much, so I didn't even know. Okay, I really like blue and yellow. They're not complementary colors, but there's still some contrast. So I think for my saucer, I'm going to do yellow polka dots, and then I'm going to use a blue marker to go around it. If you guys remember using watercolors and crayons, they make a wax resist, so the watercolors can't really go over the crayons very well. When you use a marker, it has a similar effect. Now, I find that it doesn't work quite as well, so I think I'm still going to try to go around my circles, but since they are in crayon, if I go on top of these polka dots, it's not going to make such of a big deal. And I actually don't have markers over by me right now, so I'm going to skip ahead to decorating the mug. Maybe I'll use, I don't know, I'll use pink. I haven't used pink yet. I want a variety of colors. So I'm going to do wavy lines. I could do a different kind of line in between. I think I'm going to stick to wavy lines is a different kind of pattern. I have a shape pattern with my polka dots, circles, and now I have a line pattern. Now, if you want to do your handle a different pattern, you can. I think it looks more interesting when you have a lot of different ones. I might fill in this back completely with this color. That's okay too. You're just gonna have to kind of use your artistic vision to come up with what you like. And if it's not perfect, that's okay. I don't expect anyone to be perfect. I'm gonna go back over a few of these lines. Sometimes crayons, you can still see some white in between. So you might wanna give it a few layers, maybe make it a little bit thicker. A good color to go with this, I don't think purple would look good because this color is pretty close. Red is pretty close. I could do green. Ooh, if I did orange, I think that provides some nice contrast. So what I'm going to do now with my orange is I'm going to press harder near the edges. I'm going to imagine my highlight and that reflection is right in the center. Like my light is coming right in the center. So I am going to do the middle the lightest. So I have that dark shade. You can turn your paper as needed. I'm going to make it lighter just by pressing not quite as hard. dark. And I'm doing it horizontally now. And go lighter. I could even layer in another shade of color. When you layer in and blend a couple colors, it just makes it look a little bit more complicated, a little more advanced, I find. But whatever makes you happy. So pretend like that's done. Pretend I have my blue. I could do, I haven't used green yet. I could do a little star pattern down here. There's so many different kinds of patterns. So experiment and have fun and just fill your whole paper with color. I will go ahead and finish this and then post a picture on Seesaw or whatever device you are finding this on. If it's a sub, I'll make sure to post a picture so you can see the final product. But this is just to kind of get you started, one idea for you. So I hope you enjoy. Take your time, do your best. I'm sure it will be amazing. But remember, no one is perfect. All right, have fun.